All right, page 2 of our Chapter 7 review. Number 9. Let's take a look at what we've got. Oh, our proportion staring right at us. Look at this. We've got parallel lines with our transversals, no congruent marking, so which means we have to do, this is going to be our proportionality. So here we go. 5 over x plus 3 is equal to 8 over 2x. Now, I don't have any simplifying I can do here, okay? No way around it. So we're going to have to just go ahead, go through, and do our multiplication, do our cross multiplication. Here I have 8 times x plus 3. 8 is going to go on the outside, that x plus 3 on the inside. We're going to set that equal to 5 times 2x. I don't see a reason we need to put that in parentheses, but this will be 10x. So now we're going to go through and make sure that we're doing our distribution. 8 times x is going to give us 8x. 8 times a positive 3 will give us a positive 24. We will set this equal to that 10x. Nothing to do over there. Okay, variables on both sides. Let's move it. All right, let's move that 8x. Subtract it from both sides. These cancel. I have 24 on the right. Sorry, that is the left. I don't know my right and left anymore. And then 10 minus 8x is going to give me 2x's. Last step, divide by that coefficient in front of the variable. And we're going to come up with x equals 12. And there's our answer. Number 10. Again, staring right at us here. We have an angle bisector. Okay, how do I know? Oh, because the angles are marked congruent. So we have proportional parts. This side of the triangle over here on the left is going to be, we're going to match up in a ratio with this x plus 2. So here we go. There's our first ratio. We have 12 over x. Let me change that color so I don't get confused with the one problem above it. Change up to blue. So here's our first proportion. We have first ratio, 12 over x plus 2. We will set that equal to this 8 over x. Now I do see some simplifying I can do. I can simplify that 12 and 8. 4 will go into 12 3 times. 4 will go into 8 2 times. So now I have 3 over x plus 2 is equal to 2 over x. So let's go ahead and get our cross multiplication on here. We've got 3x. We're going to set that equal to this. Now it's a 2 times x plus 2. Remember the x plus 2 needs to go in those parentheses. Let's bring our 3x down. And let's do our distribution. 2 times x is 2x. And then a 2 times a positive 2 gives me a plus 4. Let's move that variable. Okay, I'm going to subtract that 2x from both sides. Look, simplifying really helped us out here because we're left with a single x on the left, and all we have on the right is that 4. So there's our answer. That's what's great about simplifying. Sometimes we get to our answer a little bit quicker. Number 11, we're talking about our altitudes here. Okay, so we want to look at what information they're giving us so that we can figure out what the length of bx is. Bx is right here. So I'm going to label that. I know it gets confusing because there's an x here, but this is our unknown. Okay? So here we have corresponding parts. So again, you can have your proportion right in front of you. 32 over x being equal to that 10 over 6. And why not simplify that 10 over 6? Right? I mean, why not? So they're both divisible by 2. 10 divided by 2 is going to give you 5. 6 divided by 2 is going to give you 3. So now we have 5 over 3 instead of 10 over 6. I don't see anything, we can't simplify these. So let's just go ahead with our cross multiplication. Going to have 5x now instead of 10x. And then instead of 6 times 32, I've got 3 times 32. It's going to give me 96. Last step, divide both sides. And our x will come out to a decimal. It will come out to 19.2. Number 12, we had a lot of students get this one incorrect. A lot of students who had this a problem like this on the quiz and got it incorrect because we were not seeing that we were looking at perimeter, not angles. So we had a lot of students set it equal to 180 degrees. We need to see perimeter. The process is exactly the same. It's just we still need to attach those x's on there, that unknown scale factor, but this time we're setting it equal to our perimeter of 91. Okay, so I'm going to take that. We want to find the longest side, so we're going to have to substitute back in. So here I'm going to have my 3 right here, x, plus my 4x, plus my 6x, now all equal to the perimeter of 91. First things first, ladies and gentlemen, please combine those like terms. Nothing's changed here, okay? We're going to wind up with 13 x's equal to 91. Divide both sides by that 13. Believe it or not, it comes out to a whole number. X is going to equal 7. We are not done. Do not put this as your answer. We want the longest side. The longest side was at 6x. So we need to take that 6x, remove x, substitute our 7 in, which we found is x, and we're going to get 42. So this will be our final answer. Again, please make sure you're pausing and rewinding. I'm pretty good at this stuff. Yeah, I make errors, but pretty good. All right, so now we're going to find the value of x on this one. And here we have this 2x over here. So we're going to have to use this long length. What that means is, just like the other problem we had on the first page, which number was that? Number 7 right here, we're going to need to add these to get our full length of that side. Okay? So here, if we add 4.8 plus 6, we're going to wind up with 10.8. So when we set up our proportion, we can do this 6 over the 6.5. We can't use that 4.8 because there's nothing over here at NL. So this is extra information. Well, it's not extra. We needed it to find 10.8. We'll put our 6 over our 6.5. And then since we use 6 on this side of the triangle, we need to use the 10.8 up here over this 2x. Now, I'm sure you can simplify the 6 and the 10.4, divide them both by 2 if you want to. I'm not going to worry about doing that in this case. We're just going to go ahead and cross-multiply this out. I've got 6 times 2x. 6 times 2 is 12, so now I have 12 x's. When I take 6.5 times 10.8, you should be able to pause and do this on your own. Put it in your own calculator, guys. This is 70.2. Last step, we're going to divide both sides by that 12. 70.2 divided by 12 is going to give you 5.85. 5 and 85/100ths. That will be your final answer. Okay, so number 14, we have a little bit of work to do. We are needing to determine whether these are going to be similar or not, and then we need to write the correct similarity statement as well as the scale factor. Okay? So, if you look at the similarity statements, they're almost all the same. Okay? But let's take a look first at, are they even similar? All right? So just like the triangles where we did the small, medium, and large, we can't really do that when we have more than 3 sides. So I'm going to just number them 1, 2, 3, 4, going from the smallest side to the largest side, and set up my ratios. So first, let's look at the small sides. Let me look at my first guy over here. The smallest number I see is the 15. So I'm going to place 15 over. I'm going to look over here, find my smallest. My smallest is 9. So whenever I simplify this down, I'm going to get 5 over 3. Okay? If you put in a decimal, it will be a repeating decimal. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was not on the screen. It's a big old problem. I'll zoom out. All right? So that's what I was saying, I was talking about, so if you couldn't see it. Now I'm going to go to the second size, the next one up. Okay, over here, basically out of these 3, which is the smallest now, that 20. So I'll do 20 over. Over here, my next smallest side is that 12. So I'll put 20 over 12 and simplify. Both of these are divisible by 4. 20 divided by 4 gives me 5. 12 divided by 4 gives me 3. So, hey, so far we're good, but we need to check all of them, okay, every single one. So let's take a look at the next size in line. So between 24 and 25, well, 24 is the next smallest. Over here, the 14.4 is the next smallest. We'll put 24 over 14.4. Now, what's going to happen here, because we have a decimal in the denominator, it's going to come out to a decimal. So I'm helping you out on this one. Even if you go through and you find out what this is as a decimal, figure out what 5/3 and 5/3 are. Figure out what those are as a decimal. You're going to see it's going to come out to the exact same decimal. So I'll just go ahead and help you out. This will be a 5/3. Our last side here, our fourth side. I don't know why I'm writing 3 again. Our fourth side and last side, 25 over 15. Both are divisible by 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So, hey, looky there. We have similar figures. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these are ratios. This is not your scale factor. So when they came up here, up top, they asked us to find our scale factor. It is not 5 over 3. We need to remember our ratios and our scale factors are going to be reciprocals. So we do not want 5 over 3 as our scale factor, which I think this one also, Yep, noticing now that we don't have the correct answer on this one. I will try to get that fixed on Canvas as well. That's the one I did forget. Or maybe I did put it in there. I don't know. It'll be there by the time you go put your answers in. So we don't have the 5 over 3, but we do have we don't have the 3 over 5. We need to remember it's new over old. So our new is going to be this one right here. Okay? Oh, you know what? Just kidding. I totally lied. I'm looking at the similarity ones here. It does say this one does have the answer. It says let JKLM over here be the new one. So we would have 5 over 3 as our scale factor. Okay? Just like these over here. All right? I do apologize. Forgot about that. Now we need to figure out, we've got the 5 over 3. We only have one of these that has 5 over 3. But we need to double check and see. J over here has 1 arc. So Q over here has 1 arc. So they correspond. K is the 2 arcs. Let's look over here. We should have R next. L is our 3 arcs. S is our 3 arcs. M finally is our 4 arcs. And P. So there's our answer for that. And that is the end of page 2.